Dear students, in this video I am going to discuss chapter 3 from your book Hornbill class 11th, Discovering Truth. The saga continues. In this chapter, as I discussed summary and part 1 of this chapter, so as we found that this chapter is based on the probing of dead king of Egypt named in short Tut, and his full name was Tutankhamun. So he was the last king of his dynasty, and that's why the historians and archaeologists thought that his death in an early age, which expected to be happen in early teens, late teens actually, 18, 19 something. So it was doubted that because he was the last person of his last king of his dynasty, thereafter his dynasty gets over, his dynasty ended. So it was doubted that his death might not have been a natural death. He might have been murdered actually, because in those days the kings attacked on each other, and they try to capture the lands of others. So in that, under this policy, it might have happened because he was the last king of his heir. He was the last heir of his dynasty. So that's why it might have been a conspiracy, and he might have been killed. So for that reason, his body have been investigated. It being investigating in 2005, but while his body was dug out from the burial chamber, which was 23 feet deep actually into the ground, while it's 26 feet deep actually under the ground, it was found that his body was kept in the gold coffin, and a lot of daily usable things were also kept inside his coffin, like cases of food, like you can say that linen undergarments and other resins and cereals, other, so these things were kept inside the coffin. Means the content of the coffin gave a trust to us that the people of Egypt believed in rebirth, and his whole body was laden with jewels. He was having a lot of jewels on his body, and with these, that's why while in 2005 Jahi Abbas took his body out of the burial place for the inspection, he told funerary treasures. He used funerary treasures word because a lot of treacherous things, very precious things, were in the form of ornaments, were kept inside the coffin. The coffin itself was made of gold. So that you can say that, and his body was dug out from there. But while Jahi Abbas observed his face, actually his body was taken out of the ground after 3,300 years, after his death. So it was quite obvious that in such a long time, a dead body would have been definitely disturbed, and it has lost its shape, and it's lost its only bone will be remaining. But another archaeologist in 1922 named Howard Carter of Britain, he also took out his body to discover, to find out the results of his death. But in 1922, the medical technology was not, medical sector was not so developed. CT scan and other probe machines were not available. So he tried to separate the body from the coffin, because his body has become actually ultimate part of the body. It was affixed to the body. The lower portion of King Tut's dead body was affixed to the bottom of coffin, because in such a long time, 3,300 years, it is quite obvious that it would have been affixed to the bottom. So he tried to take the body out of that coffin for probe investigation, and for that purpose he tried many ways. And in one of the ways, he tried to chisel, using hammer and chisel. The chisel is a kind of equipment. So he tried to take the chisel and take the body out of with the help of chisel. And chisel is a thing which is used by the blacksmiths nowadays in our country, and in many parts of the blacksmiths use it. So by chisel and hammer, he tried to took out the body of King Tut. In that process, he separated the dead body, from every joints, major joints, like from knees, from elbows, from waist area. He separated the body. So that's why dead body became quite disturbed. So while Jahi Abbas took his body out in 2005 for investigation, Jai Hawass was the Supreme Secretary of Egypt Supreme Council of Antiquities. So he told that this bad condition is just because of Howard Carter. What Howard Carter did with this body in 1920s, that is in 1922 actually. So dear students, now I'm going to continue where I left in part 1 of this chapter, part 1 video of this chapter. So Jai Hawass, Howard Carter tried to take out the body from the coffin, but it was not easy to take his body out of the place, out of the coffin, because it has affixed to his lower back portion of the body, dead body would have been affixed to the bottom of the coffin. So Jai Hawass thought that Howard Carter wrote later on that what was to be done. Howard Carter thought that because when he finally, after months of carefully recording the Pharaoh's funerary treasures, Carter began investigating his 3 nested coffins. After months, while Howard Carter took the body out of the burial place, he investigated that body and recorded all the details. He wrote in all the details. He actually wrote all the details about the pharaoh, means about that king, and about the funerary treasures, means whatever the things were kept in the form of ornaments and others into the coffin. That's called funerary treasures. Carter began investigating. Now Carter started investigating his 3 nested coffins. Means first he investigated his dead body and his funerary treasures, and thereafter he started probing. Probing means investigating 3 nested coffins. His coffin was made of 3 parts. That is 3 nested. His coffin was divided in 3 parts. He opened the first part. He found a shroud. There he found a shroud. Shroud, you know that it's a kind of that we say it's a kind of cloth by which the dead body is covered. So he found a shroud adorned with garlands of willow. He found that the shroud was adorned, means decorated with the garlands of willow and olive leaves. Willow, you know, it's a kind of a flower, and olive is also, you know, that it's a kind of a tree, and it bears flowers. So by olive flowers and by willow flowers, these 2 type of flowers. Garlands were made of willow and olive, and his dead body was decorated with these two flowers. The first part in the first part he saw. Wild celery was also found there. Celery is called, you know, that azwine, that we call. Lotus petals are also kept, and corn flowers, means corn, you know, that makkah, that is. So corn flowers are also kept. The faded evidence of a burial in March or April. The faded evidence means these all the things like willow and olive leaves, wild celery, lotus petals, and cornflower. These all were giving a faded, not very clear, but some hint, a kind of evidence of a burial in March or April. That his body would have been, means he might have been died in March or April, because all the things are found in March or April. Basically, cornflower found in the March or April in Egypt mostly. That's why it was expected by these things that his death would have been possible either in March or April. When he finally reached the mummy, and when his body was taken after these all the decorations, when finally King Tut's dead body was taken to the when reached the mummy, when he opened, means he opened the nested part of the coffin, and when he finally reached the dead body, okay, in the third part of the third section of the coffin, though he ran into trouble, he found a lot of trouble there. Why? The resins had hardened, because ritually the resins would have been used. Resins is a kind of material, okay, which is used in the worship, okay, that is called ral or dhoop, you can say. So ritual resins had hardened, okay, resins which were kept inside the coffin with the dead body of King Tut, that had in so long year, in 3,300 years, that had hardened, that become very hard, tough, and cementing stuck to the bottom of his solid gold coffin, and in his solid and though because of resins, his back portion of the dead body would have been cemented, fixed with the solid gold coffin, means with the bottom of the gold coffin. No amount of legitimate force could move them, Carter wrote later. Later on, Howard Carter wrote about his experience, and he has written that no amount of legitimate force means whatever force we can simply apply on anything. So King Tut's body was so strongly attached to the bottom of the gold coffin that it was not possible to lift his body with a normal force, that is called legitimate force. What was to be done? Now he thought that what he should do to take his body out from the coffin. The sun can beat down like a hammer this far south in Egypt. It was the southern part of the Egypt, and author says that in the southern part of Egypt, the sun can beat down like a hammer. Means the temperature is too high, and the sun rays shines just like a hammer. Means it attacks as we are being hit by some hammer, and we are having problems. Similarly, means this expression gives a sense that in the southern part of Egypt, where this body was situated, actually dead body was situated, and this chamber was this churchyard was situated, okay, cemetery was situated. In this part of Egypt, the sun shines very brightly, means temperature becomes very high, and Carter tried to use it, and Howard Carter tried to use this temperature to loosen the resins. He thought that this huge temperature can be used to loosen the resins which has affixed the dead body of King Tut to the bottom, and while it will loose, it will melt, he will take the body out of the coffin easily for several hours. And for that purpose, so for several hours, Howard Carter set the body, means he kept the mummy outside the blazing sunshine, means out in the shining sunshine that heated it to 149 degree Fahrenheit. Let's see, student, you can imagine that how much temperature it is. The temperature increases up to 149 degree Fahrenheit, but nothing burst, nothing melted, as Howard Carter expected that the resins will melt, and he will be successful to take the body out of that coffin. It did not happen, because even in that temperature nothing melted. He reported with scientific detachment that, and then he thought that scientific detachment is necessary. Students, scientific detachment is a term. Suppose that if you have some problem and surgery is needed, you will think that surgery should not take place. You will think that how the doctor will cut the skin and how the doctor will operate. But doctors are merciful. We think that they are merciless, but doctors are merciful, and they easily cut the portion of the body, and they easily separate the body portion, because they know that it is necessary for that patient. So that is called scientific detachment. Means he thought that he should use some science here to detach, to separate the body from that coffin. The consolidated material had to be chiseled away, and then that's why he thought that the consolidated means the fixed, the material which have been the resins which have been affixed to the need to be chiseled away. Chisel is a kind of instrument, as I told that the blacksmith use it. It's a kind of instrument. So he thought that it need to be chiseled away from beneath the limbs, from beneath the body. Limbs means body parts, and the trunk means the main portion. Trunk is called after the neck, the chest and the stomach portion is called trunk. He thought that from beneath the other parts of the body, limbs, and from under the trunk, the resins which have been consolidated quite hard, they were affixed, need to be chiseled away before it was possible to reach the king's remains, and before to take the king's remains. Why remains? Because in so long year, 3,300 years, a dead body would not have been found completely. Definitely the flesh and skin would have been gone, and only bone would have been there. So to take the body out of remaining dead body out of that coffin for investigation, it was necessary to chisel away. That is called scientific detachment. In his defense, Carter really had little choice. In his defense means why Carter needs to defend himself, because whatever he did with the dead body, that damaged the dead body actually. So in his defense, Carter had little choice. Means Carter had not defended him, that whatever he had done with the dead body, because even in 1922 he chiseled the body, he separated the body. Because of that, he destroyed also, as per Jahi Hawass, as the body had again been taken out from the burial place in 2005. But he is not defending himself. If he had cut the mummy free, he thought that if he had cut the mummy, if he will not separate the mummy, means dead body, from the coffin, thieves most certainly would have circumvented. It was possible that the thieves would circumvent, means they will enter silently. They will deceive the guards and rip it apart to remove the gold, and they will cut the dead body to take the gold, because this dead body was not only dead body, it was full of gold. In Tut's time, the royals were fabulously wealthy. Now, why those golden things and those ornaments were kept inside the coffin? That he's describing, that Howard Carter is describing. He says that in Tut's time, it was a ritual actually, that while King Tut was there, in those days, the royals, means the king families, were fabulously wealthy. They were very wealthy, they were very rich, and they thought or hoped, or even they hoped actually. It might have been their thought also, it might have been their expectation also. They could take their riches with them, and they thought that they could take their riches, means however rich they are in this life, they can take their prosperity and property to the other life also after death. That's why all the things were kept in the coffin for a journey to the great beyond. And while they are and at the time of their journeying to the great beyond, means to that great kingdom of God, King Tut was lavished with glittering goats. King Tut was lavish, means he was decorated with glittering goats, shining goats, precious collars, very precious collars, you can say, kind of necktie, inlaid necklace. He was having necklace also, means inlaid means wearing, and bracelets. He was wearing bracelets also. He was wearing rings also. He was wearing amulets also. Amulet is a kind of ring which we wear in our thumbs actually. So he was having amulets, a ceremonial apron. He was having an apron also that is used on ceremonies. Sandals. The sandals were kept inside the coffin. Seats is a kind of you can say, it's also a kind of ring, but it is or in the leg actually. So there are seats were also for his fingers and toes. For his fingers also and toes also, seats means rings. And now the iconic inner coffin mask, means these are the funerary treasures which were kept, and most of them are gold actually, gold made. And now finally while Howard Carter reached to the iconic, means that wonderful inner part of the coffin, and the mask actually that he was wearing, he was having a mask also on his face, all of pure gold, everything was pure gold, to separate Tut from his adornments. That's why, to separate Tut from his adornments, means whatever the ornaments he was wearing on his dead body at the time of burial, Carter men removed the mummy's head. Carter men means the men of the Howard Carter. He had some people for his help. So they removed the mummy head. They separated the mummy head and severed nearly every major joint. And they separated nearly every major joint of King Tut. Once they finished this separation process, they reassembled the remains on a layer. Reassemble means they rearranged the remains of the King Tut's body on a layer of sand. They brought another wooden box actually. Now they are separating his King Tut's body from the coffin, and they brought a wooden box, and in the wooden box bottom they first kept the sand, and after keeping sand they arranged his separated body parts on the sand with padding, because the sand was used to be padding, means in sand the bones will the remaining dead bodies will sink, and it will not disturb here and there. Otherwise the hand should mix to the leg and leg should mix to the hand while they will carry it to anywhere place. Box with padding that conceal the damage, and that's why they wanted to avoid any further damage to the dead parts, to the separated parts of the dead body. The bed where Tut now rest. Now it was the bed, means this new wooden box was his bed where King Tut was resting. Students, next in the rest part of the chapter, I will continue in next part of the videos.